This is Christian Duke. We're here at Corbin. We're here at Corbin City Hall. We're here at Corbin City Hall in Corbin, Kentucky, Whitley County. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little walk, kind of check out what we see here. Got Larry E. Conley Law Office, and a lot of the street signs here look to have veterans on there. It might be because of Memorial Day having been recently passed, or they may like to show their respect and gratitude all throughout the year, not just on Memorial Day or the 4th of July, which is admirable, which is good. That's an interesting name. CIA, Commonwealth Insurance Agency, not the Central Intelligence Agency, but still a very catchy acronym. And when I make these videos, I like to kind of show different communities, and that includes at different times of the day. Like right now, it's like 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning. City of Corbin Recycling Center. That's cool to see recycling. To be honest with you, I'd like to see a lot more recycling in Louisville, but there isn't a lot of it. And I've worked at places where they have a quote-unquote recycling bin, and then when the cleaning crews come, they throw all the trash into the same bin. So it's like you're putting it into a recycling bin, but it's going into the same place where the other trash is going. So it's kind of like, I don't know. We're gonna check that mural out though across the street. Now what's interesting about Whitley County is that Corbin is the largest city, but it's not the county seat. And you see that sometimes. You kind of see that with states, like where you have a state capital that is not the largest city. They do that to sort of kind of balance out the power, you know. In Michigan, Detroit is the biggest city, with Grand Rapids following closely behind, but Lansing is the state capital, you know. New York, Albany's the state capital. You got New York City, which is the powerhouse, which you got Buffalo, Syracuse, Rochester, but they choose to make Albany the state capital, sort of balance everything out. So we are here in Corbin, Kentucky. I had to show that. I want to do something. You can see the hills here in the background. I want to do something about my keys. You can probably hear them a little bit. I don't know. The boom probably cancels it out a little bit, but can't leave my keys under my car or something. But I can hold them in my hand, so that's what I'm doing. I took them out of my pocket. I'm holding them in my hand because they create like a little bit of a jingle, like that. And I don't know. Obviously, there you could hear it because I just like pretty much rocked them right next to you. Ooh, look at that, a Confederate flag. Now see, again, the purpose of sightsoundflavors.com and Exploring Kentucky is not to judge. It is to observe. So I observed a Confederate flag, and there's a whole school with regards to what that means. It could be Southern pride, it could be a lot of other things. We're not going to delve into that. Just because while exploring communities, we see things that are religious, we see things that are cultural, we see other things, we see some effed up things, and so I don't want to get into that. Just want to observe and document and chronicle, like Johnny's Muffler Shop. You know, in Louisville, There was a place called Bluegrass Motors, Bluegrass Mufflers. They've been closed now for a few years, so I forgot their name. But they always treated me right, gave me great prices, fair prices. A fair price doesn't mean a price where the business owner loses money. It just means it's a price where the business owner makes a profit and the customer doesn't get screwed, basically. I was gonna try to be more eloquent, but why be eloquent when we're trying to convey the truth? But they went out of business, and Bluegrass Muffler in Louisville. So that muffler shop back there is in business, and so they're part of this video. So in 5, 10, 15 years, because YouTube's been around a long time, my Strength Addicts channel is now 14 years old. Assuming that, you know, YouTube doesn't go away, you know, come back in 5, 10, 15 years, see that video, and I hope that, you know, Johnny will still be in business, but who's to say, you know? And the cool thing about these videos is you can come back and watch them. Like you can see the smoking quartz, a lot of purple. Maybe they're Prince fans, I don't know. Purple Rain. But that's the beauty of these videos. You get to chronicle, and I love it. Now I'm gonna take my phone out, because now my phone is making noise. So you got Hoskins, Hill and Hill attorneys at law. I'm an attorney myself, so if you notice me taking a lot of videos of attorney offices, that's why. Not running an attorney's fan club, although it could be argued that I am, because I am one. I love the profession. It's really hard to become one, and it's really hard to keep your license in good. Actually, it's not really hard to keep your license in good standing unless you're like a shyster or something. So, but it is really hard to get it. And in Kentucky, you have to do continuing legal education every single year, whereas in other states, you just pay like a annual, you know, fee or whatnot. Here you pay the annual fee, but you also have to go to class every year and get credits, and those credits include ethics. And that's why I say it's very easy to remain in good standing, because like, you're told what is the right thing, unless of course you lack the moral compass. You should know the right thing, but there are some situations where, you know, it can be kind of like a big question mark, and there's also ethics hotlines and a lot of resources. Austin County Saloon. Folktale Coffee and Bakehouse. Now they're actually closed, but they have a very cool looking establishment. Me personally, again, this is not a law channel, it's not a judgment channel, it's not a business channel, a religion channel, but we do observe. And they got a beautiful location, beautiful. Saw the emphasis I put in that. So for a coffee shop and a bake shop, I would be open at 7 a.m. on a Saturday. That's just me. But then again, there isn't a lot of traffic on the road. There isn't a lot of passerby traffic either. Not a lot of people on the sidewalks. And so a big part of being successful in business is knowing your business demographic. So it doesn't look like there's anybody here on a Saturday at 7 a.m. So therefore, a coffee shop and a bake shop probably wouldn't want to be open, because no one's going to come in and buy. However, the argument to that is if they were open and other shops were open, then Corbin could be booming at 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning. People maybe wake up early, they want some coffee, some baked goods, because not everybody wants pancakes and eggs and bacon and grits and all that stuff. They just want, you know, a fresh cinnamon roll and a piping hot cup of coffee. Wow, that sounds good. Got trees in here. I always like stickers. Dalton Mills is a friend of mine. Oasis, NoFX, Loose Screw. So a lot of punk rock influence. here at the White Rabbit Records. We're all mad here. Very cool. Right next to a pawn shop, so you can like pawn something and come over here and buy some cool vinyl. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize how close I was. Actually, I thought I was zoomed in, but I'm not. It's just the fact that I'm like right in front of this window. Now they also buy, sell, and trade guns. Also, no judgment there. They buy gold. What about silver, man? I'm just kidding. Kentucky's a big Second Amendment state. Also, this is not a political channel. I gotta keep stressing that because people get very upset. They're like, you know, what are you trying to say, man? And I'm not trying to say anything. However you interpret the Second Amendment, whether you think the framers meant that, you know, maintaining a well-regulated militia means for private citizens to have automatic assault rifles, that's up to you. That's up to you. You might be an originalist, you might be a functionalist, you might be a judicial activist, a liberal, a conservative. It doesn't matter. Everyone is welcome at exploringkentucky.com, sights, sounds, flavors.com. Leave that to the Supreme Court. Let them rack their brains with that. I like this. I wish that there was more of this. Just kind of like places for people to come and sit. There is nothing for sale here. No tickets, nothing. You just sit on a bench under a tree with some nice grass and, you know, nice things to look at, and just kind of chill a little bit, you know what I mean? Maybe talk to your neighbor. I just like that, you know? There's some plants, flowers, lots of trees. They got some lights here as well. I just like that. I like community. Responsible community. If you got a dog, you know what I mean? Keep it leashed. Clean after your pet. Doesn't say anything about a fine or anything. It's just, you know, just do the right thing, guys. Just do the right thing. Got the depot on Main. Purveyors of fine food and spirits. Tell me that's not cool. Tell me that does not, like, super cool. So, got the Whitley County Farmers Market, Tuesdays 5 to 8. State Bound Hounds, Whitaker Bank. That was pretty badass, very DIY, running off the window. You got the Caboose. I like places that have their names like kind of like in that font, and like it's all black. The awning's black, the window's black, the railing's black, and then you got that white that just kind of pops out at you. So. And I'm really digging the Pinball Museum of Corbin. Ah, look, that's me in Trevetta County. What up? But it's a kind of a trippy looking sign. I like it. I can dig it. Can you dig it? Can you dig the Pinball Museum of Corbin? This car passing by is probably like, oh, they're here for the Pinball Museum. Everybody's here for the Pinball Museum. I'm not making fun of the Pinball Museum. I'm just like loving this sign. I am loving that sign. And there is the Whitley County Farmers Market, if you can see the sign. And there's all the road that we walked. Even more so. So like, yeah, we're right around, we started right around there. So we've done some walking. These boots were made for walking. So, what's over here? I got a friendly police officer there who drove around and now is at my 3. But that's fine. I actually, you know, I know a lot of people I know that a lot of people get like kind of like wigged out by law enforcement. I actually am happy. There's another one. I'm actually happy that there's law enforcement because A, I'm not from Corbin. It looks beautiful, but I'm not from here. There isn't a lot of people on the sidewalk, and I am walking with a very expensive video camera and an iPhone 13 that I bought a month ago, cash money, $1,500. This is a 256 memory. So I'm happy to see law enforcement. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna get robbed, but how does one actually know whether or not they're going to get robbed? One does not. Leak, Hammonds, and Britton, attorneys at law. Very cool. Guys, you know my last name is Duke, so if I butcher your last name, you're more than welcome to call me Dukey. That's not my last name, but hey, butcher your last name, you darn right have the opportunity to butcher mine. The News Journal. And there it is, the News Journal. Very cool. And then you got that car's muffler or something is very loud. I'm digging that a lot. McBurney's Designs. It looks like a church, but it's a... In Louisville, we have a place called Noche, which is a former church turned into a Mexican restaurant. And it looks really cool, and the food's amazing. Some say a little overpriced, but I didn't necessarily get that impression. But again, we're not a pricing debate channel. Just again, observation. I know it's just so redundant to hear me continuously say what we are not, but who knows, you know, like how social media is. Maybe the owners of Noche see that and say, we're not overpriced, we're in the Highlands, that's the most expensive area in Louisville by square foot. We've got to charge a lot because our rent's a lot, you know. Now here is Sweetie's Ice Cream and Mini Donuts. So maybe the mini donut is almost akin to a topping here. Oh, that's cool. Now, a lot of people say, well, why don't you videotape our Walmarts and strip malls and miniature golf places? I don't do that because to me that's not exciting. I like to cover the historic parts of cities and counties. Crawford Law Offices. Look at the hill up there. I mean, that, you know, sometimes it doesn't really do justice, but that's pretty high. It's not like huge high, but it's pretty high. I didn't mean to zoom that quickly either. I don't like, just constantly learning. Auto Owners Insurance. They got a cool little building there. That's kind of the end. Well, there's a little bit more. There's like an Edward Jones over here. I'm digging this window here for the attorney. Again, we are on the public sidewalk. You cannot trespass the eyes. That is Corbin Bank building. You cannot trespass the eyes is the classic catchphrase of First Amendment auditors. And they're right, you can't. I mean, the sidewalk is the public right of way. There's no need for a permit or anything of that sort. First Amendment right. There's no expectation of privacy either, but I don't like to take people, even though it's my right, our right as citizens, because I don't like putting people on edge. That is not the purpose of exploringkentucky.com, sightsoundsflavors.com, but it is your right in the sense that people can't tell you, you've got to stop recording, you've got to stop photographing from the public right away, because they don't have a legal argument to stand on. A citizen doesn't, a police officer doesn't, a government official doesn't. That's the First Amendment. That's a bedrock right that the framers of the Constitution intended for all of us to have without, you know, asking for it. And certainly without it being arbitrarily permitted, you know what I mean? That defeats the whole purpose. Especially if it's speech you don't like. I mean, again, that's what it's all about, you know what I mean? Again, just observe. I know it sounds like I'm preaching, but that is why we live in the greatest country in the world. It's not because you're free to say what everybody wants to hear is because you're free to say whatever you want to say. And that includes some really, really messed up speech. But that is when we are tested. When we allow that really vile speech to be said, uttered, written. You get a picture of this sign here. So we're back, and we're here in Corbin, Kentucky, which is the birthplace of Kentucky Fried Chicken. And there's a colonel looking at us. And over here there's a plaza. As you guys know, I love plazas because they create situations where people can come and sit down. They don't have to buy anything. They can just come and sit down and talk to each other, get to know each other. There's a lot of stuff going on here. There's a lot of sort of memorials. And then there's also bricks just to pay respects. And this is the Sanders Memorial Park, and there's the colonel in bronze. That's very cool. And we're gonna just cross the street here so you can see the entrance to it. So I think it's, ooh, the sun's right in our face, but if it wasn't, that would be the entrance to it. And now we're gonna continue about our walk back. But I mean, just to give you an idea, the fire hydrant is a bucket of chicken. I mean, just to give you an idea. That's something else. The Game King, that's cool. You got your magic cards. You can spend a small fortune on those things. Pokemon too. And we're not gonna do the whole walk back because, well, you know what? Let's do the whole walk back because there's the Pinball Museum, but we didn't do this side that much except for a couple of crosses, and it's also going to be cool to look at oncoming traffic. And there's also the possibility that the sun will be kinder to us from this angle. That's always the hope. There's the depot. I just hit the record button. Usually when filming, after 5 or 10 minutes, your hand gets a little numb, so you gotta move it around a little bit. There's that park that we had seen, and it's a very, very unassuming park. Just a few benches, trees, some lights, manicured grass, some flowers. I mean, it's pretty basic, but I mean, it's also beautiful and just right. Because anything more, you'd be like, where's the ticket? How much is this? What are you selling? What do I got to do to sit here? Now, in Latin America, Europe, some Asian countries, some African countries, and some places in North, Central, and South America, there's a lot of plazas. Basically, I just outlined the entire world. Australia too, let's not forget our friends in Oceania. But, and especially in Oceania, because in New Zealand, I know for a fact, in Christchurch and in Auckland, there are a lot of plazas, and I'm sure in Wellington too. And I like plazas because, like I said, they bring the community together. I get that we all love Instagram and Facebook and Pinterest. I don't understand Pinterest, but I know it's big. But there's something to be said about actual human interaction, and now that the pandemic, I feel, is a lot more documented, and we know how we can be more mindful of it. There's vaccines and there's face masks and all that stuff. And yes, it is 2022, and I just said face mask, but I mean, look, I'm not going to tell the next person how cautious to be. I'm just saying, this is not a public safety channel either, but all I'm saying is that I think it's important for people to congregate, get to know each other. I think it's good for interpersonal relationships. I think it's good for social skills. I think it's good for the community as well. And I also think it's good to deter crime, because communities that are active like that, where people come together and talk, I feel are going to be less susceptible to criminal elements, because those same people are probably going to vote, they're going to pay their taxes, and they're going to be very mindful and observant, almost nosy. And you know what? You want people to be nosy, because that means they care. Nosy people care. And if they see something, ooh, check that out. The Austin City Saloon, very cool. And that was that pickup truck. But see, we would not have seen that if our video coverage only included walking that way. By walking this way, we had a whole new perspective. But yes, nosy people are a godsend, because if they see something wrong, even if they are wrong in what they think is wrong, just by reporting it to fellow citizens, and especially to law enforcement, that's going to deter crime. So that's just my 2 cents on that. And it all comes from people sitting in a plaza with beautiful flowers, manicured grass, nice conversation. It all originates from that. So, are they really 1 hour cleaners? Because I got to be honest with you, that is amazing. If it's true, especially for dry cleaning, guys, especially for dry cleaning, because most of the big dry cleaners will not do it. They will not dry clean within the hour, and many will not even do it same day. So if they actually will do it in an hour, that's amazing. There's Hardee's. I actually did a commercial for Hardee's when I was in high school, Monsignor Edward Pace High School, the basketball team. We did a commercial. I don't even know if it ever aired. I just remember that they paid really well. Catering was amazing, and most of the time we were chit-chatting in between sets. Again, not to say that that is a life of people who do commercials and acting, but if it is just a tiny part of it, it is a cool life to live. Like the soap opera, One Life to Live, you know? I don't watch soap operas, I'm very manly. So look at that, guys. And I feel, I like that building too. That could totally be what I would do with that building, is I'd black out the windows, and I would make that either, thanks bro, with your Cobra. That guy probably has a small transmission. But what I would do with that building, he wants that attention. He wants that attention. He wants it. There you go. There you go. He's not going to go there. He's going to be on this video because he needs that attention. And he was next to a pickup truck who was not even going fast. So he was not. That is the power of video. They want to be remembered. I mean, what's to say that that is that man's only like memory? Like the only thing that he will do or she will do in their life is to have, you know, gunned their car 3 or 4 times on this amazing sightsoundsflavors.com, exploringkentucky.com video here in Corbin, Kentucky, in Whitaker County. And it's not Whitaker County, it's Whitley County. Whitaker Bank is down the street. Anyways, I digress. What I would have done with that building is I would have blacked out the windows. I would have stuck a Masonic Lodge in there, or a fraternity, or a biker club. Something cool. Something for members only. Something where people would point at that building and say, strange things go on there. Well, what kind of strange things? I don't know, I've never been in there. That's what I would do with that building. Instead, it's just got some display glass, and they're probably going to put a shoe store in there or something, which is cool. People need to wear shoes, but it's boring, you know, compared to what I was envisioning. But I like to think, ooh, sweet and sassy salon. I think that I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos as opposed to the 2-3 minute videos where I put together a bunch of clips of just things that, you know, people have seen. I think people want to see, and please correct me if I'm wrong, anybody who's watching this, I think people enjoy the commentary. I think people also want to see the businesses and want to see, you know, sort of timestamps, if you will, like the Eubanks Lighting Center, Thomas Industries Lighting. I almost thought that's a Thomas Edison, but it would fit, right? I mean, it's lighting. But so yeah. Now from here, I'm actually going to go to the county seat, and then I'm going to go back to my hotel. I stayed at Comfort Inn Suites, and I was really impressed with, what am I saying? Comfort Inn and Suites. Comfort Inn and Suites in Corbin, Kentucky. I got it on Priceline. I didn't do one of those like guess the hotel, save 20 buck things. I picked it. It was $104, $114 with tax. Got a really nice room, king size bed, nice bathroom, microwave, refrigerator, cute couch to sit on, really good Wi-Fi. There's a guy running, and again, notice what I do is I move the camera away because I don't like putting people in my videos. And good morning. How are you? And I don't like to put people on my videos, and even if they say it's cool, I don't like to do that just because, like, he's out jogging and I don't want to bug him. But the one thing is, if you're doing something like what I'm doing, I would say good morning if you can. Like I said, good morning. He said good morning. I said, how are you? He said great, and he kept running. I can't have a full-on conversation with a guy that's jogging, but I can be polite and I can be nice. And that goes back to my whole point on the plazas and people interacting with each other and being nice to each other and talking to each other. That is what community is all about. And even though I am not part of this community, because I don't live here, I don't have a business here, I'm part of this community in the sense that I am here right now, and I want to be nice, and I want to smile, and I want to have that person have a good perception of public photography and public videography and documentation. And so I think there's a lot going on with just a smile and a hello and a how are you. You know what I mean? It's just basic stuff, like very basic stuff. So I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you this this engine here. You got the laundromat over there. People gotta wash their clothes, you know, they don't wanna walk around with dirty clothes. And all of this is taxpayer funded, but I also don't like to videotape police stations either, just because it puts them on edge. Is it our right? Of course it's our right. But again, just because it's our, look, I'm just saying, the purpose of this channel is not to make people uncomfortable. You know what I mean? It's not. So you want to come see the police station in Corbin, come see the police station in Corbin. I'm not going to go to the police station and videotape them and put them on edge, all right? So we're going to end it here at Corbin City Hall, Whitley County, Kentucky. Hopefully you can still see that. This is Christian Duke, ExploringKentucky.com.